get where they need to get.
It's a learning curve.
I'm guessing you'll die.
At least you're not stranded at 3 o'clock in the morning in a foot of snow and your stuff don't start.
Yeah.
At least that's not happening. Not returnable if opened. So let's open it. Sure, right there. There's one and there's one. Okay, that's what we're waiting on. Now the rest of it we'll just dig through but we're not even gonna start this because we're gonna set up the drill press to measure pistons and rods to weigh them.
Weight match.
Weigh pistons and rods and go ahead. I mean, this isn't a whole on balance job, but we are going to go ahead and get that station set up so that we can weight match rods and pistons.
And then I'll go back through here and get the gaskets ordered that we don't use out of the kit.
Probably just build a short block, maybe. Because it's a pain in the butt to torque the heads on the stand. If we don't have to torque them on the stand, don't do it. Might as well torque them in the chassis where it won't roll around. The stand will roll around when you're torquing the heads. And I mean, if we have to, we can, but if we don't have to, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I think I want to put a piece of granite or something on the bottom of that. I want that sitting on something hard. So we'll look for that size, but this is a pretty good height. I can wheel over here and sit down. Weight match the rods. The problem is going to be I have to walk all the way over to the other side to sand off the rods or to drill on the pistons. So, but at least this is in a spot. It's going to be covered. I can cover it with a sheet or something like we do the rest of the stuff, and it'll stay clean. But I'd like to be able to walk up to it at any time and weigh something. Problem is I can't get this freaking plywood in there. I'm gonna have to take the top off or something to get it in. I mean, now is also a time that I want to adjust for each of the shelves and put them all so that the upper oil pan, the oil pan, because I would really like for the oil pan to sit on edge. This is all dusty. We're gonna have to wash it again, but the paint looks phenomenal. I would like to set it up on edge. That way the oil pan, upper oil pan, front cover, rear cover can all just lean up right there on the top and be out of the way, and we can grab them as they go. Crankshaft will be on the bottom. And I might just make this spot big enough to put pistons and rods. But we're still gonna work them here, but I'd like to have a place to put them. Up if we're in the job's in progress. We're not ready for rods yet. I don't want them sitting on the table. I'm gonna be able to put them up, so that would kind of work. First rod right there, ever weight matching. Weight matching these rods. We're not gonna spin the crank, but I wanted to set everything up to weight match. So we got the rods. Look at what we got going on over there. It's pretty nice. At least we got it secluded. We don't have a bunch of
Because actually it's 370.
Yeah, 373, 370.3. Oh, I touched it. See, that's weird. It's too heavy still. See, look, right there. 370.3 is what we're going for. I mean, I got to say 370.4. I bet you I could pick it up and I could make it say something different. But this is real finicky. Oh, go again. I'm calling that good. I'm calling that done. 370.2. So that one's right there. Slippery out there, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
This is our short block new parts for the engine going together. Front cover is still hanging. I don't think it's here yet. Rear cover. And the oil pan, get this, you really like it. I like the oil pan. Here, let me show you this. It's hanging. Put it on bolts. Bolted, nutted those in. Those are just long 8mm for high pressure pump covers with a Fickum nut on it. And then the other Fickum nuts are just lightly hand tight so that we can take them off and on. That way we can paint this oil pan and go directly when the last coat is done, when the last of the 400th clear coat is done, then we can carry it right over there and it can reside there until it goes on the truck, which will be right here. I've not quite figured out pistons and rods and where we're gonna place things, because this one is just actually an engine that was laying over in the side of the shop, and we just decided to pull it and have its day in the sun. Either way, I'm really liking this little area. This stool is the perfect height. Got a little bench here. The problem is I've already hit the oil pan twice, so we're gonna need something there. And the crankshaft is going there. I didn't even think about the crankshaft, so we're gonna have to move it. The crankshaft needs to go on a slide out drawer right here. And you slide it out. And what are you doing, GM? Set the crankshaft here and just push the drawer in. I already hit the oil pan once, so I thought we had it figured out. But that's how we're gonna do it. Whatever, it's gonna go somewhere. I'd probably rather have it higher anyway, so I don't have to freaking lean over to do it, right? Duh. Here's our camera set up in the shop. It goes directly to YouTube, unlisted. Look, it's ready to go right now. This is for the videos that we got in the shop all the time. And I mean, you can't watch them. Ain't nobody gonna watch that crap. Nobody watches it, but I like to keep it. So I upload it to YouTube on the Super Duty channel, unlisted, and just keep them. And then I go back in and download them off of YouTube. And lately, Starlink has been ridiculously fast. Upload sucks, but download is lightning fast. I think I might want to enclose it.
Oh, it's still on.
How much does the towel weigh? Let's go out here and look, because the shop has changed a little. Let's just turn on all the lights real quick. Oh, they all came on. Look at that. This truck. This is 2012. Who knows how much it was, but it looks very, very expensive. This had, it's got dual fueler on it. Got a precision turbo on it. Turbos. Elite diesel. Looks handmade and stuff. It looks, this, all I know about it is this was done in 2012. And this is the transmission that I went and picked up from Ohio. It was on this truck. It's like a, there is not, I mean, good luck finding any truck that is almost, with all the parts in here, anywhere close to the quality of this truck. It is unbelievably just phenomenal. Got the old sink too. It's like you know, it's beautiful though. Underneath it, it's actually been sitting and waiting, and it's getting ready to have a transmission shoved back up in it. Don found a place here, not real local, but close, and he found them and talked to him, and I think we are going to be experimenting with some high flow solenoids. I guess they're going to give them to us. They're going to just Don's just going to get them he's going to hand them to Don because he wants to sell them. He wants people to believe in them. And that's a perfect scenario, would be to just give them to me. You know, I'll make myself a believer. This has so much crap though. I mean, I don't want to say crap because he had this. This truck has 1,500 miles on it since 2012. That sounds like a joke, huh? Yeah, it's not. The turbos are seized. The VGT actuator does not even move. It's completely seized up. It's locked up tight. I don't even know what all it has on it, and I guess, I mean, might as well just raise the cab off. We're debating on it because the engine is, I mean, it might just need to be just completely taken apart and put back together. Because it smokes horribly bad. And with it smoking, it could either be valve seals. Right. It could be valve seals. But the valve seals should burn off. How long have we seen it run for? Or the turbos, right? I mean, so there is a pretty good chance maybe we should leave the cab on and just partial cab lift, get the turbos off, take them all apart, hope and see. Just hope we can, maybe it's something that we can remedy. I don't know what Precision Turbo did differently on the turbos. If it's like there's some kind of, who knows what's special about them, but this did have a crap ton of work done to it. It was like $30,000 in 2012 is what was spent on this truck. And since then it has driven 1,500 miles. I mean, the tires were factory installed and they're, what do you want to see? Let me find it. Those of you that know date codes, I don't know where to read the date code. I don't know if that's a date code. 12OS. I don't know. I don't really know with the tires, but they're there. Any of those numbers mean anything to anybody? Is that a date code showing that it's from yesteryear, long time ago? And this is, the injectors that are in it, it's actually Elite Diesel back in 2012. They was polishing their fingernails making this. So, I think it's 800 horsepower, I think. I don't know. Haven't even been on a topside creeper and looked at it yet. This is about the most I've looked at it since ever. As much as we want to. We probably ought to try to run it. And, if it smokes that bad, like right now, don't try to run it. Well, what I was thinking was fire it up and just let it idle with fuel, with oil pressure. That way there hopefully will be some oil leaking from the seals on the turbos and make it more evident. That way we don't hit the throttle, because if we build too much heat, then it'll just burn off the oil and you'll lose the witness marks that there is oil there. So, let it run a little bit. I think it chugs and it smokes. And before we go tearing things apart, the deal with that is we know, you can't move the arm. You can't move the actuator arm right there. So, we know that's coming off, but it'd be pretty nice to go ahead and try to fire it up and focus on it just a little bit before we take the turbos off, because if we have to go ahead and take something else off, take injectors out, do something like that, we might as well do it all in one bang. You never know what the fire up might show us. So firmly think that we should go ahead and fire this thing up. Let's look underneath. Is that a stock flex plate? Goodness gracious. Okay, wait a minute. I might just take it all back. Hang on. Show 8. Got some kind of bellows on it. Had a freaking tube for a wastegate. You see that? He used the EGR provision. Well, no, they made their own provision. Check this out. Look, it had a freaking fire of the wastegate. I'm guessing you'd call that a wastegate. I don't know. I don't claim to know all the perfect terminology for everything, anything. But they had that attached to the exhaust, just the driver's side, and plumb down, keeping pressure on that. And there was another exhaust pipe coming down underneath and connecting right there. Just throwing, I guess, extra fire out of the exhaust. That's pretty, I haven't seen that. Look at all the rust. Like it does not look like it's a joke that it's only ran for 1,500 miles. Since last it was done. There's the rear main. That sucker is shining. Look at that. There is no witness of anything under that sucker. Holy crap. Look, you sealed the oil pan. I'm all right with that. Look, it ain't leaking. Oh, but looks like the drain plug's leaking. It's Gotta be the drain plug. Because it's like only at the very bottom piece of the oil pan. So it's pretty witness for a drain plug. But the transmission was like all kinds of C stuff. What do they got for fuel? Aeromotive. Look, no air dog or nothing like that. He spent some money on this freaking truck. Aeromotive's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. Got a cat filter on it because they're farmers here. This is a farmer's truck. You know, he's got to go get some cattle. It's a farmer truck, so he's got to have like 800 horsepower with a fire tube coming off of it and all kinds of crap. Man, he might have to hurry. That old girl appears to be done. She's out the door. She's happy. It's just got to final wash up and just waiting for delivery. Isn't this nice? Can you imagine this? Look at all this area that for he's got. It's just hanging out in there, just being all clean. It's icy and nasty outside. There's this whole place really is freaking awesome. Hey, what are you doing? You know what? Let's do a little screenshot real quick. Actually, I want that one on. Let's come back here and see what the kids have been doing. Because I've been trying to get the chop shed set up. We'll be spending a lot of time with the kids once I get set, which that hasn't all the way happened yet. What's going on here? You guys want to take a look at this is farming. They're farming. They're automotive farming. This is harvesting. So they're harvesting the engine out. 5.43 valve going in another F-150. And since, you know, I mean, might as well get it all out of the way. Granted, you could have pulled it, but the intake's got to come off anyways. And I don't even know. I mean, the valve covers they're probably the same. Who knows? I know these mod motors do a lot of different crap. There'll be all kinds of different. They'll have front covers and all kinds of crap for different makes, intakes for sure. But they're yanking the engine out, putting that in an F-150 that's outside. We can just come back here every now and then and check in on them and see how they're doing. See how the engine looks. A little wet. This is a runner. They drove it. This is when we refer to the south shop. It's midnight. Midnight gets back here. This is where the south shop is. There's enough room. You can have. I mean, you can. It's cab lift bay. You can cab off or even truck up. They lift crew cab dualies and everything. Just a bunch of harvesting parts. Hopefully it'll all fit inside. And there's a whole bunch of parts on this thing. Not that, I mean, you know, there's plenty of room for a old expedition. Got a little over 250 gallons of oil. That's just there's actually a bunch more than that. Oh, look, we cleared this out. There was the sander and drill press here, and I moved it to right there inside the wall, right there, so that we can walk around the corner to sand. And the wall's getting pretty bare here. Actually, it kind of might be nice because you have more room to actually get through. It's a freaking hallway to connect one shop to the other, you know, which, yeah, I think they drive damn skid steer through here. Anyway, I thought I would just give a little walk around of this truck because I said I was going to show it. And we'll venture more into these two. I'm going to be playing more out here in the shop once everything gets set up on that side so that, you know, we can actually do the things that we talk about doing. Because right now, we're like, first time today was setting this up. There were a set of cylinder heads here all year for a year. And right here, we're going to do pistons and rods. And I think I really want to hang a scale right here. I want to get a scale so that I can weigh what I get out of the pistons and not have to walk back so many times. I think I'd like to do that, which I like this all being over here because it throws dirt every freaking where. And we can around the corner because, you know, there's fresh journals there. It's still not covered up. I haven't put it on yet because we're right now we're at a point where we need pistons and rods. And I was talking to him here, talking to Cody about it. This was going in Cody's truck, you know, about balancing. And he was like, well, why don't we just go ahead and weight match the pistons and rods? And, you know, that's when I said in the last video that it was a kind of a pain in the ass, right? Because it's a pain in the ass to go through and we have to set all this up and not just set it up to do it, because I'm not looking to just do it for this freaking truck. So if we're going to get it all out, we need to get it out and figure out how the routine's going to work. Like, you know, a little bench and the oil pan that now still isn't done. I need to move it somewhere else, you know, crap like that you have to do 3 and 4 or 5 times to before you get it how you actually want it. Whoa, what are you doing?
I don't want to get paint on the mule.
Oh, that thing's on wheels though.
I know, but this is the paint area.
Wow, that looks good. We kind of did mess it up. We got that from Rick. That's,
But then I thought,
guess we ought to paint the other ones, huh?
if we're painting over here, I don't want to get paint on the mule.
When this thing is done, it is going to be amazing. It's a work in progress here. I like this Gojo dispenser. I think I'm going to put it right there, right? So it drips over the sink, because those things kind of leak sometimes and they'll leave crap, and they always kind of nice to have it over a sink. Might as well put it right there. This thing's been floating around the shop. We've moved it like 19 times. I was like, it'll come to me when we find the place to want to put it. And I think it goes good right there.
And it can drip and drip into the sink if it's going to drip.
I don't even know how to.
Like 1 out of 5 bags just will drip. I don't know.
It'd be nice to not have to worry about it. I wonder if that was.
Hey, good job.
I wonder if it's a little close.
Oh, because of the washer?
Yeah, this washer's pretty big.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, they should. Okay, let's
Yay.
get more on the bottom of that. Some freaking wear down here.
It's like perfect for it.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it. I'll
Could have been an ouchie.
just put screws right through it. Heck with
Okay. Is it more stable now?
it. So I mean, I might as well, just because I can't leave well enough alone, I might as well put a second one in it
Okay.
over here, because, you know, we're going to be really ramping on this thing, pulling.
Pulling soap out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to be really freaking. Oh, it doesn't shut. Oh, it's on.
I wish we had soap to put in it.
Sure it does. That shot's good enough. We just have to. How's that sound? Good deal.
Looks good to me.
Yeah. Now we just need some freaking cleaner to go in it. So I was gonna keep going, and I wanted to go ahead and show Cody tomorrow weight matching pistons. He hasn't seen that yet, so we're gonna do that tomorrow. So I figured, you know what, we'll take a night off. Take a night off and leave everything in the progress it is now. Which we're getting farther now. I mean, probably the plan is once we get done here, Chris's truck will be coming right here to this stand. So basically all we're doing is just getting it ready for the future, you know, not necessarily just for this job. So I found an answer to my bench light disappearing when the cab comes up, because this light goes away. So we had a whole bunch of those freaking lights, a whole bunch of them right there.
You found one that still worked?
Yeah, it like works and is all good. Everything is good with it. It's yeah, so now at least we have a little light here, even when a cab is off. So that's a good enough update, and we will see you tomorrow.